Welcome to BeABossDad.com. My name is Joel Hassenritter, and I help high-achieving dads scale their business without failing their families. And today I'm going to show you the exact framework that separates the dads who are trapped in their business from the boss dads who have built freedom into theirs. By the end of this video, you'll have one simple question that will help you make decisions 10 times faster, get you back to being fully present at that dinner table. Incidentally, it'll also help you to outpace your competition. So let me paint a picture. You probably think that you need complete information before you can make a decision, right? After all, that's what responsible leaders do. That's what good providers do. We have all the information before we make the decision. And you're probably distracted at the dinner table because you're still in your head. You're at the crossroads of the meeting from this morning. Should you hire that new person? Should you launch the product? Should you change your pricing? You've been stuck on the same decision for 3 weeks, and it's eating you alive. But here's what nobody tells you. The speed of your decision making isn't just the speed of your business. It's the speed of your freedom. And right now, your indecision is stealing from both your revenue and your family. Here's the brutal truth that most entrepreneurs refuse to accept. You will always have incomplete information. That's part of what we do as an entrepreneur is we do and we try and we probably fail and we get up and try something different, right? But the market won't wait for you to gather more data. Your competitors won't pause while you deliberate, and the opportunities that are there today, they don't extend their deadlines just because you're being thorough. But here's what really kills me, and this I know probably hits home for you too, is that while you're stuck in analysis paralysis at work, you're also stuck in that guilty paralysis at home. And I talked about that on the last video. You're sitting in this guilt sandwich, right? You feel guilty for missing work when you're at home and guilty for missing your son's baseball game when you're at work. And the worst part is that most of these decisions that you're agonizing over, they don't even deserve that level of attention. So let me show you what I mean. I first learned this concept from Dr. Dave Braun, one of the co-founders of ULA, a mentor of mine, and then Alex Hormozi just did a newsletter on this same concept, and it kind of brought this back fresh in my head. So shout out to Alex and to Dr. Dave. But I think this initial concept, comes from Jeff Bezos. So I'm going to show you how it changes everything for dads like us who are building businesses and families. So here's the concept. There are only two types of decisions in your business, okay? Two types of decisions in your business. You have one-way doors. These are the truly irreversible decisions that once you walk through those doors, you can't easily come back. Selling your company, for instance, that's a one-way door. Firing a key employee that has been there longer than you have, perhaps, especially that one, that's a one-way door. It's hard to come back from that. Shutting down an entire division of something that you've built, that's a one-way door. Taking on a business partner or an equity partner or making a major acquisition, those are big decisions, right? And they deserve your time. They deserve careful consideration. They deserve you to gather all the data, not all of the data possible, but enough of the data, sleep on it, and maybe even pray on it. Those are the one-way door decisions that need your focus and need your attention. But then there are two-way door decisions. These are reversible decisions. You can walk through, and if it doesn't work, you can walk right back the way you came. But here's the game changer. Most business decisions are actually two-way door decisions. Hiring someone, you can course correct, right? You can add more training. You can add more experience to what they're doing. You can show them some of the SOPs that you've written and how that delegation process works. Launching a new product or a service, that's a two-way door. You can choose to completely build that out or not if it doesn't work. Testing a new price point, trying a new marketing channel, changing your offer structure, and adjusting your schedule. All of these are two-way doors. You can walk right back through the door if you need. You can pivot, you can adjust, you can learn, and you can iterate. But what most entrepreneurs do, and I'm betting you do this too, as I have in my life, is that you treat two-way door decisions like one-way door decisions. You spend 3 weeks analyzing a hire that you could probably make that decision in just a few days with the right process. You spend 2 months perfecting a product launch when you could test it in 2 weeks and see if it's even viable for the marketplace. You deliberate over a new service offering like you're deciding whether to sell the company. And this absolutely kills momentum. This hands opportunities to faster competitors. And this is what keeps you trapped in your business instead of being present with your family. Because while you're stuck deliberating, your calendar stays packed, your stress stays high, and your time stays scarce. So let me connect this to what you really care about, because this isn't just about growing your business. That's not what this channel is about. It's about building the life you actually want. When you learn to make decisions faster, 3 things happen. Number 1, you create time. Because every decision you're stuck on is consuming mental energy, even when you're not actively thinking about it. It's running in the background like a computer program, draining your battery. When you make the decision and move forward, you get that energy back. You get the time back that you would have spent deliberating and thinking and paralyzing over all of the things. That energy becomes presence at the dinner table. Number 2, you build momentum. Fast decisions create forward motion. Forward motion creates results. Results create confidence. And confidence, that's what lets you shut down your laptop at the end of the day and actually mean it when you tell your kid, I'm all yours. And number 3, you model leadership. Your kids are watching, right? They're learning what leadership looks like by watching you. And when they see you stuck and anxious and second guessing yourself, that's what they learn. When they see you making clear, confident decisions and adjusting as you go, because it's okay to adjust along the way, that's the gift of a strategic shepherd. And this is what it means to be a balanced owner and a strategic shepherd, a boss dad. You're not just building a business. You're orchestrating a life where business success and family presence aren't in competition, they're in harmony. So let me show you exactly how to do this. So here's the framework. It's simple, but it's powerful. Write this down somewhere where you'll see it every day so you remember to do this. It's one question. That's it. Whenever you're facing a decision, ask yourself, is this a one-way door or is it a two-way door? That's the question. But here's how you use it. Step number 1, identify the door type. Ask yourself, can I reverse this decision if it doesn't work? That's the main thing. Is it a one-way door or is it a two-way door? If you can't reverse the decision, it's a one-way door. Slow down, gather the data that you need, take your time. If the answer is yes, that you can reverse it, then it's a two-way door. Speed up and decide quickly and then execute. And here's a pro tip for you. If you're not sure if it's a one-way door or it's a two-way door, more than likely it's a two-way door. We tend to overstate how permanent our decisions are, and in fact, they're usually not. Step number 2 in this framework for two-way doors is to make 2 decisions simultaneously. So this is the speed hack that changes everything, and this is how you actually make this work for you. Don't just decide what to do, decide what to do if it doesn't work. Make those 2 decisions up front. So decision number 1, I'm going to do this. And then decision number 2, if this doesn't work by a certain time or having met or not met a specific metric, then I'll do this instead. So let me give you a real example of what this could look like. You're launching a new product, and maybe it's a premium product that you're selling on your website, and it's a $1,000 product, right? So decision number 1 was to launch it. Decision number 2, what do I do? I'm going to do this if it doesn't work by this amount of time or by this amount of metric, right? So if we don't get 10 signups in 60 days, then we'll pivot to a lower tier or change the product type and test different messaging around the transformation that product gives, which we will talk about in another video. There's a deep dive we need to do on that. So here's what happened. You didn't just decide to launch, you decided to launch and decided what the pivot plan is if it doesn't hit the goal. And now you can move on immediately. Like no second guessing, no waiting to see what happens. You're not hoping it works. You're planning for both outcomes. This is what strategic shepherds do. We don't just react, we anticipate, we have a plan, and we have a backup plan. The other side of that is don't let your backup plan be your excuse for not taking action. Okay, a little asterisk. there. And then step number 3 in this framework is to set clear success metrics and decision deadlines. You need to define, what does success look like? Have a specific number, a specific outcome, and then what is the timeline? When will we reevaluate if there has been success in this or if we need to move on? And then what is that trigger? What is that trigger to say, you know what, this isn't working the way I wanted it to, or not working in the amount that I wanted to, so I'm going to pivot. This is my line in the sand. So a few examples. Success could equal that you have 50 new leads from this new campaign. The timeline is 30 days. The pivot trigger is if we're under 15 leads by day 15, we adjust the messaging. This removes all ambiguity. You're not waiting to see. You know when you'll evaluate, and you know what you'll do. And the final step in the big framework is to execute, measure, and adjust. And this is where you move. You make that decision, you move fast. Execute decision number 1, track the metrics, and when you hit your decision deadline, you either continue because it's working, or you pivot to the decision number 2, which was it's not working, and so I'm going to do this. There's no drama, there's no guilt, there's no second guessing. You made the call, you gathered the data, and now you're adjusting. That's business, and that's leadership. So here's the beautiful part, is that this process frees up your mental space. You're not carrying the weight of, did I make the right call? Because you know you have a plan for both scenarios. That is mental freedom. And that's what lets you be present at bedtime. That's what lets you actually hear your daughter's story about her day instead of blowing it off. This is what it means to be a boss dad. So in the boss dad framework, balanced owner, strategic shepherd, here are some examples of what that looks like in each of those pillars. Pillar number 1, balanced, the you pillar, if you will. The decision is, should I start working out at 5 a.m.? Is this a one-way door or a two-way door? It's a two-way door. You can shift this if you want to. Decision number 1, I'll set my alarm for 5 a.m. and do a 30-minute workout Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Decision number 2, if after 3 weeks, listen to your body and you feel exhausted and it's affecting your work, then shift that time frame. Maybe you do a lunch walk, or maybe you do an evening workout. So the timeline for this is we're going to evaluate after 3 weeks. And the pivot trigger would be if you're falling asleep at your desk or snapping at your kids because of your low energy levels. So that's it. See how fast that was? Most people would spend 2 months thinking about working out. You just decided in 60 seconds. Pillar number 2 in the Boss Dad framework is owner. So a decision you could do in this pillar is, should I hire a virtual assistant as the business owner to help me out? Is this a one-way door or a two-way door? It's a two-way door. You can let them go, or you can adjust the scope of what they do and how they do it. Decision number 1, just launch. I'll hire a VA for 10 hours a week to handle email, scheduling, and basic admin. Decision 2, if after 6 weeks they haven't saved me at least 8 hours a week, I'll reevaluate the role or let them go. Timeline is 6 weeks, and the success metric is I should have 8+ freed up hours in that timeline. Decision as an owner is, should I sell my company? Now that's a one-way door. That's not something you can just say, you know what? I changed my mind after the fact. In this case, it's a one-way door. So slow down, gather data, consult advisors, get multiple offers, sleep on it. This one deserves some focused time. Pillar number 3 in the Boss Dad framework is strategic, balanced owner, strategic shepherd. Should we start doing a weekly family sync on Sundays? The door type, it's a two-way door. Decision 1, launch it. We'll do a 15-minute family meeting every Sunday at 4 p.m. to review the week ahead. Decision number 2, if after 1 month the kids are resistant or it feels forced, then we'll shift it to a family pizza planning night. Or as my wife and I do for budget discussions, we have budget and wine. So that's a 4-week timeline. The pivot trigger is the emotional response you're getting from your family trying to implement that meeting. And the final pillar, pillar number 4, balanced owner, strategic shepherd. This is the integration pillar. So a decision, should I block off Fridays as a no meeting day to get strategic work done? Is this a one-way door or a two-way door? It's a two-way door. So decision number 1 in this framework, starting next week, I'm going to block off all of Friday for deep work and family prep. Decision number 2, if client work demands it and I'm losing deals, I'll shift to Friday afternoons only for deep work and keep mornings open. It's a 4-week timeline. The success metric is I should complete 2 to 3 major strategic projects and feel more prepared for family weekends. So you see the pattern, right? You're making decisions in minutes, not weeks. You're removing the mental load and you're building a system that gives you freedom. And that simple framework will also help you outpace your competition, not by working more, not by doubling your effort, although if you're working 50% of your effort, you should double your effort, but just by the speed of your decisions. And so if you can speed up that process so you can make rapid fire decisions and then also know what you're going to do if that doesn't work, then you look at the results. You've already determined what success looks like. You look at the results, you pivot if it's not working, and then move on to something else. In one of Alex's videos, he talked about this specifically. He talked about how can I 10x my speed? And just by shortening the time that you make decisions, you can actually outpace your competition. So let's bring this home because frameworks are useless if you don't actually use them. I want you to write down 3 decisions. You can do this right after you watch this video. Write down 3 decisions you've been stuck on. Could be business, could be personal, doesn't matter. For each one, ask yourself, is this a one-way door or a two-way door? And for every two-way door decision, then write out, I'm going to do this. And if this doesn't work by this timeline or with this metric, then I'll do this instead. Set your success metric, your timeline, your pivot trigger, and you're done. Do it in the next 10 minutes, and I promise you, within 10 minutes, you'll have made more progress on those decisions than you have in the last 3 weeks. And you'll feel a weight lift off of your shoulders because it's done. That weight, that's the mental space that you're about to reclaim. And that's the time you're about to have back that would have been stolen by being stuck in this decision paralysis. That space becomes presence, that presence becomes connection, and the connection becomes the legacy that you're building. But I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, but what if I make the wrong decision? And here's the truth. For two-way door decisions, there really is no wrong decision. There's only the decision that you make and the data that you gather from it. You're not trying to predict the future. You're testing, you're learning, you're adjusting. That's what strategic shepherds do. We lead with clarity and we adapt with wisdom. The only wrong decision is no decision at all, because that's the decision to stay stuck. One of the core concepts that I work with my clients is that with action comes clarity. And so take a step and see what happens, but take a step with a plan so that you know what to do if it doesn't. That's the way you keep from staying stuck. And I'll leave you with this. You've got about 940 Saturdays from the time your child is born until they leave for college. If your kid is 5, you've already used 260 of them. You've got 680 left. Every Saturday that you spend trapped in indecision is a Saturday you don't get back. Every dinner where you're mentally somewhere else is a dinner you can't redo. This isn't just about business efficiency. This is about being the dad your kids will remember. When someone asks them, what was your dad like? What do you want them to say? Do you want them to say he was stressed and distracted, always working, or do you want them to say he was present, he was confident, he led our family well, and he made time for what matters? That's the legacy of a boss dad. You're not choosing between business success and family presence. You're building a system where both thrive. You're creating the orchestrated life where you're a balanced owner, a strategic shepherd, and a leader in both your startups, your business, and your family. The speed of your decision-making determines the speed of your freedom. And that freedom, that's what lets you show up fully for the people who matter most. If this resonates with you and you're ready to stop guessing and start building that system, that boss dad system that creates both business growth and family freedom, I invite you to join the 5-day Boss Dad Challenge. We take an hour a day and we implement all 4 pillars plus a day 5. And I'm going to walk you through the exact frameworks that I use to scale businesses without sacrificing families. Go to beabossdad.com to join the challenge or click on the link below and register for the next round. And if this video helped you, do me a favor and share it with one other dad who's stuck in this analysis paralysis, this guilt sandwich of being in two different places at the same time. Let's build a community of fathers who refuse to choose between success and presence. I'm Joel Hassenritter. Win at business, win at life, be a boss dad.